AM 560. The Answer.
Boom, boom, boom. Squirrel, I could see it like yesterday. Twin Towers there. Barney Miller. New York was just bankrupt in the 70s. Still bankrupt. Now it's got a communist at the helm.
But my feeling is they should open it, the border, and just let them pour in, let everybody pour in, and then the answer, which is, well, then there'll be all these problems. Yes, there should be. It shouldn't be so great here, is what I'm saying.
Louis C.K., real jagoff. And it turns out, Louis C.K. the jagoff, got his wish. See, it's not so great there where the illegal aliens are.
Deputies arrested 26-year-old Kenneth Moreno Guzman yesterday. He's facing 20 criminal charges, including child molestation, rape, and home invasion.
Yeah. Now let's find out if he's on Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, what kind of welfare. Bill in Antioch.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's Bill in Antioch, but it's actually Bill being all over the place. Originally from Pittsburgh, Chicago, this place, that place. I was in the Navy all over the world, and now I'm in Antioch. I'm on a nice, beautiful lake. Loon Lake. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful.
Yeah, Antioch is beautiful.
I met up with this retired Marine. Got a beautiful house on a lake right outside. I always call it the back door. He always corrects me. He calls it the front door. Front door is the lake. But anyways, I just want to say on the 26th of February, I will be there, and any of these dumbasses show up, I will be so happy to be with you, punching them right in the face.
I got to tell you, if you go on the 26th, you're going to get in a fight all by yourself. You got to be there on the 24th.
Is it the 24th? Okay.
Yeah. All right, I don't want you to be 2 days late punching a poor busboy in the head. You come there when I'm there, all right?
Yeah, I've been knocked out many times in my life. You know, it's that's one thing I think that makes you mad. You got to be knocked out once or twice in your life to be a man.
Yeah, and plus I miss that numb stinging where you don't know if you can still move your lip. I miss that. You take care of yourself, Bill.
All right, man.
Thank you. One of the things you have to be aware of is the way in which the confidence and what needed to be done to steal the election. You had to wrap it up. That's where lawfare, crooked lawyers, prosecutors, and crooked judges came in. That's where Jack Smith comes in. Because, after all, we had all of the evidence of the election theft. Pennsylvania.
A witness claimed that voting machines used in the U.S. were built for manipulating elections, and alleged that according to his team's research, up to 1.2 million votes could have been altered in Pennsylvania.
So all of these election systems...
Phil Waldron, a cybersecurity expert dealing with...
What do you know, cybersecurity schmurdy? You don't know. You a Democrat?
Intelligence and information warfare for some 30 years, was a witness at the hearing. Waldron said that he and his team have been researching voting system manipulation issues since August. He told the committee that the voting systems in Pennsylvania and elsewhere in the U.S. were built to be manipulated.
And just so you know, I know there have been statements to the contrary, but I personally debriefed the son of a Cuban intelligence officer who had firsthand knowledge of Hugo Chavez's family members who told him not to worry about the populist threat against Maduro's election in Venezuela. Quote unquote, that it was guaranteed. Their father invested the money to build the SGO voting machine system.
Now, if you said this, and if you went to Washington, D.C. to protest the most obvious election theft in American history, well, then you know what you're called? J6er. Ooh. You're a J6er. And how are you going to put a bow on it? How are you going to put a bow on that package of stealing the election for the dimwit?
Now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
President Putin.
Putin? Are my shoes on? Squirrel, my system went down. Son of a gun. Well, what you're going to have to do is sing to yourself. I prefer the girl from Ipanema while the system goes back up. But what you're going to have to do is remember, they had a plan. And that plan was Jack Smith.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I recognize the gentleman from Texas.
Thank the Chairman. Mr. Smith, how many members of Congress or the Senate did you subpoena phone toll records?
As I sit here right now, I do not recall a specific number.
Is this the complete list right here? Well, let me ask you this. Am I on this list? Did you target my records and subpoena my phone toll records?
My understanding is your records were subpoenaed by prosecutors before I became special counsel.
Well, staff would put this up on the screen. I'm thankful for the great staff who discovered the email where I learned for the first time a few weeks ago that my phone records were indeed targeted. We called AT&T and we've learned that they were given to the Department of Justice, as this email indicates, because I had been in communication with Scott Perry, one of my colleagues here in Congress, who literally had...
So think about this. Some $2, by the way, Jack Smith is who took over after Lois Lerner at the IRS was caught in a scandal. When they replaced her with Jack Smith. Jack Smith's wife is the producer at Netflix that made Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Chewie, known as Michelle Obama, look like a woman on a Netflix documentary. And they paid the Obamas $20 million. $20 million? For what? So that's that Jack Smith. Jack Smith is a longtime sycophant, apparatchik to the American Communist, Democrat, Marxist mafia. That's who Jack Smith is. And the whole time, he wasn't just targeting those people who protested the most obvious election. He was backdooring elected representatives in Congress and the Senate.
Had his phone taken from him in front of his family. And of course, as we've already talked about in this document, it talks about you could be in violation of the privilege by even obtaining and possessing this information if the member objected to the disclosure. This happened 4 years ago in May of 2022, and I couldn't object because I didn't know. I didn't know until about 3 weeks ago.
See, but Congress is full of lawyers. The difference is the Democrats are the dumb ones.
Those indictments have been dismissed. Can they be rebrought or resurrected?
How about reintroduce, you stupid son of a dog? And then there's the smarmy ones. There's second-generation slip-and-fall Marxist scum.
Now, Mr. Smith, if any of our colleagues foolishly choose to attack you and vilify you today, and I know that's not going to happen from some serious prosecutors over there like Mr. Knott and Mr. Schmidt, who understand what federal prosecutors do and what the rule of law means. But if anybody decides to attack you personally, they will only be revealing their own ignorance of what prosecutors do and their own indifference to what the rule of law requires in America.
Wrong.
They will only be stroking the wounded ego of a lawless, twice-impeached, convicted felon president who not only unleashed a mob against Congress and his own vice president, but is now pardoned and released into our communities hundreds of extremists, insurrectionists.
Shut your moron ass up. You know who else is a lawyer, Squirrel? Chip Roy. Oh, yeah. Chip Roy's a lawyer. And Chip Roy understands the Enlightenment, Western civilization, and American law as the shield of the honest man against the spear of government corruption.
My question here is, was there any limits to your investigation or the investigation that preceded you, Mr. Smith? Because as egregious as a violation of separation of powers this is, as an egregious and abuse of power it is, it's far more concerning you are clearly targeting American citizens for merely being conservative or supporting the president. We've got memos that we've already been talking about in this hearing from April 2022 that preceded you that establish and open the investigations, one of which has Attorney General Merrick Garland's signature on it. And the focus was the electors. Now, that was 6 months before you were appointed. You testified earlier. You met and interviewed Merrick Garland.
And what is this to cover up? Billions and billions of money that was stolen from the American people. Billions. And not one investigation. Not one.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. I actually traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know.
When you decided to be a traitor or when you soiled your trousers? 312-642-5600.
He's Sean Thompson.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
And this is The Sean Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.